You ready to get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Oh, hey, did you see Nick and Andrew's this or that last night?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Who do you think won?
Me.
What's up, everybody? I'm Matt,
I'm Rafee.
and you are watching The Finish Line. This is the podcast that we do at the end of the week where we just wrap up the week. We're going to talk about how it went. Obviously, we had a lot of podcasts this week. We did some pretty cool stuff, which we'll talk about in just a minute. But first, as always, you're watching on YouTube, and we appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. Please subscribe. Just hit that subscribe button. There's also a little bell there that is the notification bell. If you hit that bell, you will be notified of any new content that we put out. So please, please, please do that. We're trying to get to 200 subscribers, and we're at about 150. So not bad. I mean, I think before the quarantine started, we had 13 followers. We weren't putting out a ton of stuff on our YouTube, and then we started, and now we're up to about 140 something. So keep it going. Get your friends to subscribe. Get your parents to subscribe. We want to hit that 200 number. And as always, if you have any videos, any questions, any comments, concerns, if you want to tell me how bad you felt for Andrew after him and Rafee debated, email us. It's at genoastudents@gmail.com. That's genoastudents@gmail.com. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Rafee, how's your pretty good week so far?
Yeah, good week.
Yeah. I guess so far it's pretty much over now.
Yeah, that's why the finish line's running.
Yes. How has your week been?
It's been good.
Yeah?
I spent some time with Cindy.
Who is your mother?
Yeah,
You call her by her first name. That's very
Yes,
nice.
my mother. Her name is Cindo.
Yes.
No, it was good. I got to spend some time with her. She is a essential worker, which is a car salesperson. I don't know if I call car salespeople essential workers.
Well, you got to have a car. I guess not in quarantine.
Yeah, I don't know where people are going, but whatever.
Well, that's cool. She got to keep her job. That's
But
good.
I saw her. We actually did my sister and I did a prank on her.
Oh, sweet. Tell
Yeah.
me about it. What happened?
So we saw it in a video, so we had to copy it, of course.
Right.
But we took like a raw egg, right, and then we took some melted chocolate chips, and then like rolled the egg around in the melted chocolate chips, so it kind of looked like a chocolate egg almost, right?
Right.
And then we put sprinkles on it, put it in the fridge, and we were like, Cindo, try the cake pop we made, and she was like, I'm not hungry. But then we got her to eat it, and she took a bite into this raw egg, and then she just like spit it out, and it was amazing. She wasn't happy, but it was a good laugh for everyone else.
Please tell me you got this on video.
So, you know Notori.
Your sister, yeah.
Not the brightest of them all. And she didn't film it. She did not record it.
Ah, Tori, shame on you.
Yeah.
Shame on you for not getting that on video. Well, do it again. Like, maybe switch the prank up, but...
How about
Yeah.
this? We'll do another prank.
Okay, do another prank, and then please,
And
because
then
I
I'll
got to
go
see
ahead
that.
and I'll email it to Genoa students.
genoastudents@gmail.com. Now, I will say this. Your mom is awesome. I love your mom. She went to kids camp as a chaperone with us before. One time, one of our kids kneed her in the face, and we thought that she had a concussion. And to this day, I still think she had a concussion, but she refused to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
But she's alive, so clearly everything was.
She's fine.
It worked out. Okay.
Yeah, she's good.
But yeah, Cindy's awesome. Shout out to you, Cindy. But yeah, that's funny that you guys pranked your mom, because my week was similar in that my children, they came downstairs one night. My wife and I were watching TV, and they came downstairs, my two oldest, Maura and Jack, and they were like, Dad, and this was 10 o'clock, so way past their bedtime. And they were like, hey, Dad, we just pranked Pete. And I said, what happened? And they said, we did one of the pranks from the podcast. And so they took a picture of it. They stole my phone and took a picture. And check this out. My third child, Peter, who's 3, while he was asleep, look what they did.
Oh, that's awesome.
They did the loaf of bread on the
awesome.
face, and it was awesome. In fact, the next day they told us, they were like, we want to do it again. And Peter goes, no more putting bread on my face. And then when I was putting him to bed that night, he was just like, my bed's uncomfortable. And I go over, and there's breadcrumbs all over his bed. I felt bad for him. Yeah. But that kid can sleep through anything, so it's impressive. Well, anyway, so that's how my week was. Similar. I like it. Pranky. That's good.
Love it.
So let me ask you this. I know that this week on Monday we did like top 10 life hacks. That was pretty awesome. On Tuesday we did a testimony. Pastor Scott and his wife Amy did it. And if you didn't get a chance to watch that, I would really encourage you. It was awesome to hear how they came to know the Lord. Wednesday we did church, and Wednesday was cool because we did the Game Time with Andrew, which is a regular staple for our online church. Yep. And you and you and Andrew did your cornhole match, right? Because you guys, there was a little bit of trash talk when you guys did your this or that on who was better at cornhole. Just quickly, in maybe 1 or 2 sentences, tell me who won, and was it a convincing win for the victor?
Me, I killed him.
Wow, very
short and
to
simple.
the point.
Yeah.
Guys, it was bad. Our rules in cornhole is that if you bust, like, so you played to 21. If you get 20 and you accidentally put it in the hole and you get 3 points, you've gone over 21. You got to go back to 13, which you did this, right?
I did. It was 19-0.
19-0.
And then I busted.
And then so you went back to 13, and you still won 21-5. So you got more than 21 points. So impressive. I mean, it was impressive. Now, let me ask you this. You got to debate Andrew on this or that. Nick and Andrew debated on this or that on Thursday, and they did a couple topics, which wasn't much of a debate because they agreed on the first 2, right? They
Kind of boring.
Yeah, but they agreed on the first 2, but it was the last one that they did disagree because Andrew drives a Mini Cooper, Nick drives a Jeep, and
what are those?
they're automobiles.
They're cars.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I know you, before we were recording, you said you had a little issue that you wanted to address with that debate there. So what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know if that's much of an issue. It's just like Jeep people. Listen, I have a Jeep, right?
You are a Jeep people.
I am.
Yeah.
Jeep, right? That's for you, Nick Dotson.
Nice.
I don't have my name on my license plate though. And I don't spend all of my paycheck on Amazon to upgrade my Jeep. But I am a Jeep person. Nick said something such as,
"It's not a car. I drive a Jeep."
like, okay, dude, like, yeah, Jeeps are awesome, and I love Jeeps,
Yeah,
but like,
nice.
and he was like, used during war times, and like, I guess like his history degree does give him some validation to say that, kind of. But I don't know. I think I think he went a little overboard. Like, trust me, I would insult the Mini Cooper as well. Like, that's not much of a car.
Were Jeeps used in wartime?
Yeah. And
So he was right or no? Or?
No. So he was right, but the way that he said that our nation was built the Jeep. Like, no,
okay.
that's not true.
Like it was the Jeep that made Hitler surrender in World War II.
Pretty much. That's what Nick was acting like.
Okay.
Yeah. So when he drives around with his license plate, Nick's Jeep, I guess he is driving around with the Hitler Killer. That's what I'm gonna nickname it.
So here's what we need. I'll tell you, when you and Andrew did this or that, that episode single-handedly got me the most feedback that I've ever gotten on an episode. Seriously, I had women texting me saying, Rafee was really mean to Andrew, and I mean, I was like, yeah, but were you entertained? And they said, yes, we were. So here's what we need to do. It sounds like you and Nick need to have an episode together on this or that.
Listen, I'll be honest. I don't know if I want to debate Nick, because let me tell you why, real quick.
Okay. All right.
That was the calmest I've ever seen Nick debate someone in his entire life.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
I told you on the phone even before they debated. I was like, dude, Nick is gonna go crazy because Nick will not stop until he wins.
Yeah, Nick's a debater. He's pretty good.
Yeah, Nick is a loud speaker.
So you don't want to debate Nick on
I
this?
would.
Okay.
I would, but it would get like, I don't know if people would be entertained.
All right. Here's what we're gonna do. Comment below if you want Nick and Rafee to have a debate, and it'll be civil. You're not. We've asked Rafee to calm down and not be so mean to people because of the ladies that were upset with you. But yeah, you and Nick need to have a discussion, and we'll talk about Jeeps. All right, we'll figure this out, okay? Because you're both Jeep people.
We are.
Right.
I just don't feel like this is my kindness coming out. I don't want to degrade every other car and say that I'm a Jeep, I'm superior.
Okay. Well, comment below if you want to see that debate, and we'll go from there. So here's what I want to do, just to kind of finish off the podcast here. The question that I want to ask today is, what is one of the most difficult things that you've ever had to do in your life? In your whole life, what's one of the most difficult things? Now, I'm 36, pretty old. How old are you? 18? 18.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, cool. So
It's the first time you've ever got my age right.
That's right. We'll tell you why that's funny in just a little bit. But yeah, I never guessed Rafee's age right. But that means, dude, you're an adult, like officially an adult now.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can vote.
You can vote. That's awesome. So I'm 36. I've done a lot of things in life. Some things difficult, some not. But I will say this: some of the difficult things that I've done in life, don't you feel a sense of reward when you do something difficult and something hard, right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So we're going to talk about that for just a couple minutes because I asked a couple of the students to send in a video. Actually, I asked one student, one leader to send in some videos and just saying like, hey, what's the hardest thing you've ever done? What's the most difficult thing that you've ever done? And some of these responses were pretty funny. So first off, we're going to give you Miss Riley Anderson. You guys might recognize Riley from being one of the singers in the Genoa Student Band. Really good singer.
Yeah.
Awesome person, super nice, super kind. But she has sent me a video, and I asked her, I said, send me a 30-second clip of what is the most difficult thing you've ever done in your life. And check out what she sent. Here it is.
So all growing up, all my friends knew how to snap their fingers, and I just never knew how. I tried like my whole childhood, and then I finally got to 8th grade still not knowing how to snap, and I was determined. So I watched YouTube videos and I had my friends teach me, and my freshman year of high school I finally learned how to snap. So, but I can't do it with this hand still. This is a work in progress.
I do love it.
I love that video. First off, because we got to see a demonstration, right, of snapping, and then we got to now I'll say this, Riley, I am great at snapping my fingers. Ready? I can.
Yeah.
It's what I do. All right. If you need to learn how to snap with your left or right, let me know. I can hook you up. I got to say this real quick. I love that she said she watched YouTube videos. Because, you know, I'm older, right? And I'm just like, oh, man, I'd never go to YouTube. But the other day, my son Jack bought Minecraft. You ever played that game?
Yeah, love Minecraft.
Great game. I'd actually made fun of that game until I played it just recently. And what's cool about it is I'm playing it, and my boys are playing it with me. We're trying to build what we're calling Clarktopia. It's our town that we're creating.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And we created some things, and I was like, man, I want to make a cabin. And guess what I did? Went on YouTube. Guys, there are some amazing tutorials on YouTube on how to build a cabin. So, Riley, I love that you went to YouTube to look up how to snap.
It's awesome.
That's pretty awesome. So that's the first one. Riley is learning to snap, and I guess she has almost fully succeeded. Got a little work to do. Got to get that other hand going, okay? Mm-hmm. So there's that. This is the one that's
weird.
It's weird. I don't know how you guys are going to respond when you see this. So I texted Alex Van Drome, who's our middle school pastor. Okay, he teaches the middle schoolers, which that takes a special person to hang out with middle schoolers a lot. God bless you. God bless you, Alex. But I asked Alex the same question. I said, hey, send me a 30-second video of you doing something difficult or telling us about a time that you did something difficult. And instead of telling us about a time, he showed us. Now, he says, when I ask the most difficult thing, I guess in his mind, this is the most difficult thing. So I'm just going to let him speak for himself, and speak might not be the right word, and you'll see what I'm talking about. All right, this is Alex showing us the most difficult thing he's ever done.
And Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. And every hour I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you.
Yeah, so that's that. What do you think about that? I asked Alex, I said, send me a video. He sent it to me. When I watched it,
I don't know what to say.
yeah, I responded and I said, I never in a million years thought I would open and see you with your leg behind your head. Now I'll say this.
Oh, is that what he's overcoming?
Yeah, I guess that's the difficult thing is he's putting his leg behind his head.
Oh, okay. I don't know if it was that or the singing. I'm kidding. I love you, Alex.
No, come on.
I love Alex.
So comment below if you want to see Alex and Rafee have a debate. You're just challenging everyone.
Well, like imagine there's so many wrong things going. Like his foot. I hate feet.
Yeah, I hate feet.
So you have the
too.
foot going. Imagine someone just imagine with me here.
Yeah.
You walk into a room, right? You open the door.
Yeah.
And that's what you see.
What if his parents had come to check in on him and they're like, oh.
I'm glad they came to check in.
Now, I'll say this. I'm 36. I'm getting to the point where it's hard to walk on my left leg.
You're like 84 years old.
Like my knees are starting to hurt, let alone put it behind my head.
That is talented.
So I'm impressed. I'm very impressed.
I don't know whatever made him think hey guys, I wonder if I can do this, and then just,
Yeah.
Lord, I need you.
Yeah,
But
that's
like,
right,
hey,
that's
all,
right.
all credit for him for doing it. That's pretty awesome.
He's awesome. Great
Yeah.
job, Alex. I'm very impressed. So that was, I guess, the hardest thing that he's ever done, the most difficult thing.
Had an easy life.
Yeah, that's right. Well, let me say this. I'll tell you this really quickly. One of the most difficult things for me was, and you were here on this, is I used to be a kids pastor before a youth pastor for 10 years. And that meant anybody from kindergarten to fifth grade. Well, every summer we took our third to fifth graders to a place called Seneca Lake. And one day we said, you know what, let's do our own camp. Let's not go to this place where all these other churches are at for a couple reasons. And so we did our own thing. We went to a place called Camp McPherson. And man, we've got great memories there. That place,
Love Camp McPherson.
Yeah, that place is
it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. We'll have to do an episode where we just go over Camp McPherson memories because there's some really good ones.
Yeah.
But the first year that we ever did it, I was super nervous. Like I lost sleep over this. Days before we went, I was worried because it typically when you go to Seneca Lake, you just get everybody to camp and then they run the camp and everything's good. Well, the difference with this is that the buck stops with us, right? Like we're in charge, we're running the show. If a kid dies on our watch, we're responsible, right? And I mean,
You're responsible.
that's right. They signed the waiver. That's okay. No. But yeah, the first one that we ever did, I was super nervous about. And I'll be honest, it was extremely difficult. There was stuff that we had to make sure everybody had food. Like we had to make sure that they had a place to stay. We had to make sure that the games were fun, that the lessons were good, that chapel time was good. And so there was a lot to it. But I will say this. It was one of the most rewarding things that I've ever done. Like afterwards, because you went as a leader, and I'll tell you this is a funny story because this is what you brought up earlier. I've never been good at judging Rafee's age. Never. In fact, I'm always wrong. This is the first time I think I've gotten it
known
right
you
today.
for
Years.
I don't even know how long now.
Yeah, probably about 10 years, you know?
Yeah.
And so when we went to this camp, Rafee was going, and I said, man, I needed one more junior chaperone, just somebody who could watch a couple of like 4 or 5 of the kids, and they would be really close to the adult chaperone that was there, but we'd give him his own group. And I said, hey, Rafee, I'm down a junior chaperone. I need you to be one. Can you do this? And he goes, yeah, sure. And I said, all right. So I gave him his group, and I remember I came up to you afterwards, and I said, hey, how did your group go? And he goes, it was really good. I said, did you relate to the kids good? And he goes, oh, yeah, some of them were in my class. And I said, wait, what? And I said, what are you talking about? How old are you? And at this time, you were in like fifth grade. I mean, you were, now mind you, we took third to fifth graders. So just so you know what I'm saying, I made a fifth grader in charge of other fifth graders as a junior chaperone.
That was who my group was other fifth graders.
And I remember just being like, how old are you? I was like, aren't you like 15 or 16? He goes, no, I'm 11 or 12. And I'm like, dear Lord. So anyways, so that was pretty funny. But with that being said, camp was so rewarding. It was so rewarding, but it was extremely difficult. All right. What's a difficult thing that you've had to do in your life?
So actually just recently, I'm awful with organization. All right. So terrible with organization.
Right.
But recently, because of my new job at Cutco, I've learned to become a little more
Shout out.
organized. Yeah. Shout out to Cutco. Buy some knives for me. So I've made a Google Calendar, right?
Okay.
And then I map out my entire week, and I get up every morning and I run, and then I got like an hour scheduled out for either like myself or like Bible time or anything like that.
Nice.
And sticking to the schedule, extremely hard. But I've been able to do it, and because of that, I've been able to wake up earlier. I've been able to eat better. I've been able to work out more. I've been able to either read my Bible or pray more. Like it's helpful. It's helpful. It's hard, but it's really helpful.
That's right. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I love it. I just started using a planner like 6 months ago.
Isn't
and
it amazing?
It's changed my life.
Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah. But it is difficult. Like you're holding yourself to doing certain things at a certain time at a certain place. I mean, it's difficult, you know.
Yeah, or sometimes like I even texted my boss and I was like, hey, here's what I'm doing this week. Here's my plan. Because he's more than just like my boss. Like he'll hold me accountable for other goals outside of work, and I'll be like, hey, well, you help hold me accountable. And then I used to do that, and then now I got my little Google Calendar. I'm like, I'm going to hold myself accountable.
There we go.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. So this is the question I want you to ask yourself tonight is think about that. What is one of the most difficult things that you've ever done? And then I want you to think about how you felt after you completed or overcame this difficulty. I've told a story before about how one summer I wanted to own a Nintendo 64, which was back in the day when I was a kid. And so I mowed lawns like all summer, and then I saved up. It was $150. I remember it. Bought a Nintendo 64, bought Mario Kart, bought Super Mario, bought GoldenEye, James Bond,
Good
amazing
choices.
games. And then the best game, Legend of Zelda, which was amazing, Ocarina of Time. But what was funny is it was difficult to get that. But because it was so difficult, when I ended up buying it, I took great care of it. Like I mean, I would like wipe the controllers off after every use and stuff. And the thing was, I appreciated it. Some of the most difficult things in life are the best things. And I say this often. I've got 4 kids. Okay, raising a child is very, very difficult, but it's one of the most rewarding things that you can do. Eventually, when you guys get married and you have a wife or you have a husband. I always say this, I say, my wife married me, which is extremely difficult to live with me. Okay. I'll admit this, but as difficult as marriage can be, when you work through it and you try at it and you overcome the difficulties, it's so rewarding. And, I'm reading a book right now. Actually, I'm gonna do a little plug here. All right, this is a book by Matt Walsh called Church of Cowards, and I would encourage you guys to buy this book, or you can borrow it from me. I'm almost done with it. But this is a book that the whole premise of this book is that we right now are a nation of complacent Christians, where we don't do difficult things. We don't step outside of our comfort zone. In fact, that Riley, the girl that we showed earlier on the video there, the snapping one, Riley just sent me actually a little list that she wants to do in the summer, where she's challenging herself to do some hard things this summer. One of them is like share your faith with a complete stranger, which is very awkward to do, isn't it? Like to,
Yeah.
I mean, to
Walking
approach,
right up to someone random. And,
Yeah.
yeah, it's awkward.
I mean, it can be awkward. It feels difficult. But guys, I'm telling you what, I've had conversations where I share the gospel with people I don't know, and it is such a great feeling afterwards, because you feel like, you know what, I've done something difficult. And so this book talks about this. It talks about, like, guys, being a Christian isn't easy, right? I hate it when pastors say, become a Christian and everything will work out. Like, everything will be great. It's a lie, right? In terms of your salvation, yeah, I would say things are working out, right? Because you're going to heaven, right? I mean, I'd say that's a pretty good thing. But when it comes to your life here on earth, we're never promised that life is going to be easy. In fact, we're actually kind of guaranteed the opposite, where if you are living for Christ, you're going to face hard times. You're going to face difficult times. The apostles, right? The early church, did they have an easy time in life?
Yeah, getting killed is not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were persecuted.
Yeah.
They were thrown in prison. They were murdered for their faith. I mean, just all these things. But what's cool about it is, even though they faced difficult lives, it was worth it for them. It was so rewarding. And so I want to encourage you guys, if you're watching this, and first off, if you've never given your life to Christ, that's the most rewarding thing that you can do in life, because you're acknowledging that there is a God and a Savior that loves you so much that gave his life for you, and you want to make your life about that. That's awesome. For those of you who are watching, if you're a Christian, like, do hard things. Don't like, especially with summer coming up, try to challenge yourself to do something that's way outside your comfort zone, and then see what happens. All right. I've been trying this myself. You do a planner and I do a planner as well. And something I'm trying to do is every day I'm trying to give me at least 1 or 2 things that are difficult to do. I was telling you before we started that I've been working on my kitchen, and I am not a handyman. Okay. The good news is I know handyman. I know people, but I was like, I'm going to try to do this myself. And I've completed some projects in my kitchen that I thought I was going to have to call to get help on. And it is so rewarding. I'm like, all right, So think about this in your life with just everyday things that you're doing. Do something difficult, something outside of your comfort zone. And as a Christian, do something difficult, all right? What Rafee said, maybe something difficult for you is waking up early in the morning and having a Bible time with God, right? Maybe you're going to say to yourself, I could never wake up at 6 a.m., all right? Try it, see what happens, all right? Try to set a goal for yourself to overcome. Maybe you're saying, I could never share my faith with a complete stranger, somebody I've never met before. Try it, all right? We've got this really cool thing that lives inside of us called the Holy Spirit that will help us do things like this, okay? We're not doing this on our own strength, all right? So think about that, the difficult things that you've done in your life, and then ask yourself specifically, what have you done for Christ that was difficult, all right? So I don't know. Anything you want to add to that, or?
No, yeah, just real quick. Doing difficult things and going outside your comfort zone is how people grow.
Right.
And whether that be in Christ or just doing things out on your own anyway. Like an example, eating healthy. Okay, you're going to grow as a person either way. When you try new things, when you do difficult things, you're going to have those in your background, so you'll be able to prepare for more difficult things in the future. You're constantly going to grow with yourself, and you're constantly going to grow with Christ.
That's true. Yeah, that's a great point. I've heard a quote before where the guy said, if you're not being challenged as a believer, or if the devil isn't coming after you and attacking you like ever, then that means the devil isn't worried about you at all. He's just like, I'm not going to waste my time worrying about that guy. He's not doing anything for Christ that I need to be worried about. This is why when you're living for Christ, truly living for Christ, and things go bad, don't ever see that. Don't see that as like a punishment. See that as, wow, I'm being tested here. Maybe it's because I'm doing something pretty awesome. You know? Many events that we've done, whether it be camp, whether it be back to school bashes or stuff, we always, 100% of the time, we have problems before where technology's not working, this isn't working. And what we do is we just say, nope, we're going to stick with it. We're going to keep going. And then when we overcome, we look back and we go, man, it was awesome that those difficulties didn't stop us for living for Christ.
Yeah.
So
it's always worth it in the end.
There it is. Well, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap that up with that statement there. And guys, we just want to say, I'm not going to speak for Rafee. I'm going to speak for myself. But I miss you guys. All right. I love you guys. I love getting videos from you guys. Makes me feel like you're close. All right. But the good news is there is some optimism right now happening in our country, right? We've got the 3-phase plan that hopefully we're going to get back to normal life sooner than later. We still don't know how long that is.
I will admit, I do miss everyone.
Yes.
So hopefully we can get back so I can see everyone on Wednesdays.
Look at this.
Again.
Rafee has a heart. See, he misses you guys. But we miss you. In fact, I was telling him that when we come back together for the first Wednesday that we're back, we're just going to blow it up, man. All right. We're going to have a good night. We're going to do I'm gonna bring some of those s'mores Pop-Tart ice cream sandwiches.
Amazing.
We're gonna make them. It's gonna be great. All right.
I even have an idea.
Okay.
What I'm gonna do for all of this is really what I think is gonna bring in the crowd. If I'm being honest with you.
Okay.
What I'm gonna do is everyone that comes is gonna put their name in a drawing, right?
Okay.
And I'm gonna give away a free Cutco veggie peeler. Free, completely free. A veggie peeler, peel up and down the carrots.
I've met so many students who've told me, Pastor Matt, I need a veggie peeler. I can't live without a veggie peeler. So, hey, if that's what brings you guys, that's awesome. But, all right. Well, guys, we miss you. You're awesome. Make sure you tune in. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow is where Sunday. We want to encourage you guys to watch the main service, But Monday, we want to just start watching it again because we put out a lot of content. Do you know how many episodes we put out a week?
5.
Oh, no, not 5. We put out 6. We go Monday to Saturday. In fact, this episode is airing on Saturday. so great job. All right. Anyways, so we're putting
pulled an Andrew there real quick, struggling both mentally.
So Monday to Saturday, make sure you watch. Remember, tomorrow you got the day off, but we'll see you again Monday at 6:45. Keep your heads up. Do something difficult. Remember, we love you guys, and we'll see you then. Talk to you later.
See you guys.